Hello everyone. So some of you know me and some of you know I go to a lot of car shows. So tonight I was at a car show and I bumped into a buddy of mine who is also in the car business. And he's an internet manager, and he's talking about his closing ratio and how what his GM's expectations were in dealer principal. And he just kind of asked me something. He's like, he goes, I don't get it. I get all these leads, and they expect me to sell these people right away. I get all these phone calls, all these internet leads, emails, texts, whatever they are. He goes, and because I get 100 leads, they expect me to sell, X amount of them and close X amount of them. And I said, well, there's a common misnomer with a lot of people as far as when people are in the buying cycle and how long it actually takes them to buy. Google did a study back in 2016 talking about the process and how long it takes a customer to buy and how many things they touch and how many places they go on the internet, and that a person will do like 900 searches or something. But what I'm going to do in this video at the bottom of it, I think I'm just going to put a link in the video to that article so that everyone could take a look at it. But what came up a little bit deeper is something that he didn't realize. I said, hey, when it comes to follow-up, yeah, there's those people you follow up and those 100 leads or 1,000 leads or whatever it is that month. But one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is that your CRM is actually costing you money, and you're actually costing yourself money, because what we as car managers and car dealers do and internet managers is we don't realize that the CRM companies, when they come and they set up your email follow-ups and they set up your parameters in your CRM, they actually set them up normally that if there's no contact with a customer, they'll kill that lead usually within 30 to 45 days. The problem is we're kind of being fortune tellers there, because the average consumer, from the first time they engage in stuff online and they start shopping around and start thinking about buying a car, it's 90 to 120 days before they're actually taking delivery of a vehicle, if they're truly in the market. And a lot of times, sure, you'll get a lead. I mean, I had a TrueCar lead, or TrueCar leads at one store that I think the average TrueCar dealer in our area is 17 to 20 days once they get a lead in before they sell them. I have one store that they get a lead in, they sell them every 12 days. But that doesn't mean that they weren't shopping for 110 days before that. So, we tend to think that when we get a lead in, oh, we need to get a hold of them in the first 3 days. We need to get a hold of them in the first week. Yes, there needs to be a different type of follow-up, maybe in the first 21 days. However, that doesn't mean you don't stop following them, just because they haven't contacted you yet. Because a lot of times a person's considering 15 to 20 brands. They've actually looked at 15 brands, 16 brands, whatever it is, and then they got about a half a dozen that they're toggling through. And then they finally get closer to making a decision, and it comes down to those one or two brands. And a lot of times it's one brand, but a matter of which 1, 2, or 3 dealerships to go to, and it comes down to location, selection, reputation. The price becomes an issue, but then it comes to really how you handled that lead and what type of follow-up you did with them. So those are very basic things, but let's get back to the CRM. So if your CRM default was set up by Dealer Socket, Bin Solutions, Momentum, Car Research, whoever it is, there's many CRM products that car dealerships use. But if your default is set to kill that deal in 40 days, then I would say that you're making a mistake. Because if that person didn't tell you, hey, I'm not in the market anymore, just because they're not talking to you doesn't mean they're not still in the market. When we pixel a customer, and we have different GPS products that pixel a customer, we'll see that that person's shopping around, and a lot of times they're pixeled, and from the time we pixel them, we'll see that they've been shopping for 100 days. They've been shopping for 120 days. So, we have this big brother technology now that kind of gives us some insight. Not that most car guys or dealer principals apply any of those sets of tools to logic. because you don't. And a lot of it has simply to do that we have information and technology overload at the dealership level. Sometimes we have too many tools and we just don't have the time to decipher stuff and break it down, either because we don't have the right people in place, or like I said, we just don't have the time. But when our CRMs are set up, you got to think about this. Do not let them kill a lead on you in 30 days if they didn't tell you they bought elsewhere. 45 days, same thing. Keep it going for 90 days. Keep it going for 100 days. You don't know when that person's going to be in the market. Now, if a person's in your CRM and you have a product like Dealer Inspire, and there's other website providers that have this, I get a shitload of emails every day from my DI notifications. And what that is it tells me when a customer comes back to my website that is in my CRM, but we haven't seen them in X amount of days. And many times people want to shop anonymously. They come to the website, they don't email us, they don't talk to us, they click on multiple cars. But if you have a progressive website company, it's going to notify you. And that's kind of the proof in the pudding there, is that, you'll see that a customer hasn't engaged with me in 4 months. But 4 months ago, they submitted a lead to me. And now all of a sudden, they're back on my site, and I see that. Now, you don't want to freak them out and email them and say, hey, I see you're on my site. That would freak me out as a consumer. Don't do that. But you do want to reach out to them and shoot them an email the next day and just say, hey, I'm still here. By the way, we have some great deals. Or you want to do an email blast that might be a little bit more customized to them. But don't pick up the phone and call them and say, hey, I see you're on my site. Okay, if you're going to call them, find a different reason you're calling them or a different hook and say, hey, I just wanted to follow up with you. We have some great incentives coming out this month. Are you still in the market? And just by coincidence, they're going to say, hey, I was just on the site. Awesome, excellent. But those are things that progressive dealers have, progressive websites have. They have those notifications. And if you're paying attention to it and your managers get those alerts, they can notify your BDC and your salespeople that, hey, this guy's re-engaged with us. Every manager at our group gets that email notification. But like I said, there's so many of them that maybe, they're just inundated with, with them. So anyway, getting back to the CRM again, go in or call your rep and have them come out and make sure that your settings aren't set up to kill a deal or kill follow-up, for a customer at 45 days. Take it out a little bit longer because you're not a fortune teller, all right? So that's your tip. Good luck.